Hey guys, Skyman here and welcome to another video. I hope you are all having a great day. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting article that I found on guru3d.com, which talks about a very recent leak about Intel's 10th generation of desktop CPUs, including what would be the flagship i9-10900K. Let's get into it. So, this article opens with the writer saying, "We've seen many signs that Intel is getting closer to releasing the desktop 10000 series of core processors. Z490 motherboards for the new generation procs keep popping up, plus weeks ago the entire lineup got posted already. I'll talk a bit more about this later. We can now add that a Core i9-10900K listing on the UL Orb of 3D Mark, 3D Mark, as you are probably all aware, is the software that is used for testing and benchmarking PC hardware. Anyway, it is showing a 5.1 GHz boost. The entry has since then been removed, but once something is public on the web, you just know it stays that way. As expected, the 10-core and 20-thread processor has a base clock frequency of 3.7 GHz. The boost clock, according to the benchmark software, is 5.1 GHz. New for the processors series will be thermal velocity boost. With enough cooling, a core could run to 5.2 GHz. That's, however, not showing in 3D Mark. And then there's a photo showing what I presume was on 3D Mark, showing what the processor is. I find it interesting how it says 0 nanometer. Maybe, Intel doesn't want the die size leaking or, something else like that. Who knows? But anyway, I'll get back onto the die size later. But I'm assuming that Intel will be finally altering their CPU die size, as AMD has been releasing the 7 nanometer CPU dies in their 3rd generation Ryzen products, which are slowly eating into Intel's monstrous market share. I myself in my old rig, I had an i5-6600K Skylake. I overclocked that one to 4.2 GHz and it actually ran really well. But I recently upgraded to an AMD Ryzen 3700X CPU, and I've just seen absolutely everything, including games, run a lot better. But yeah, I'll stop rambling about my own computer, but this means that Intel will finally be trying to compete with AMD, I really hope. Because at the moment, as I said earlier, AMD are basically 2v1ing Intel and Nvidia at the same time, which is absolutely fantastic for PC gamers. It means we get lower prices and much better products as a result of that. Anyway, this article then goes on to say that Intel's next generation Z490 chipset powered motherboards and 10th gen Comet Lake S CPUs are expected to arrive in April 2020. Quite soon, I know. The release involves the next gen processor line and their respective LGA 1200 socket based chipsets. There is a pin count change, and that this, of course, requires a new processor socket, LGA 1200, as opposed to the current socket LGA 1151. And yeah, it definitely looks like they won't be shrinking the die size, because the article says Intel Comet S will be using a refined 14 nanometer fabrication node. And there is also a list of SKUs on the website as well. Looks very interesting, and I am very much looking forward to seeing how accurate these leaks are. Now, as awesome as this sounds, this could potentially mean really, really bad news for Intel. Just let me explain. Consumers who might want to upgrade to this 10th generation of processors from Intel will have to buy a new motherboard for actually what looks like a very, very minor incremental increase over the last generation, the current generation, the 9000 series of Intel processors. Like Intel, if you're watching this video, you better make this 1151 and Z390 compatible, even if you need to do a BIOS flash, or if current people on the 1151 socket need to do a BIOS flash to make the new processors work. Because I believe everyone who owns Z170 motherboards needed to do a BIOS flash for the current processors to work, and that's fine. But you will be doing your customers and your fans such a huge disservice, and you will be really shooting yourselves in the foot here if you make people buy new motherboards just to upgrade to these current processors, the 10000 series. Although you could argue that most people aren't, paying to upgrade every generation, which is very true. However, several people who do want to upgrade might decide not to upgrade because they will need brand new motherboards, as their current ones won't be able to even support these new ones. And if, some people are prepared to upgrade, what you're doing is potentially risking people go for the AMD processors. If you have to buy a new one anyway, why not go for Zen 4? You know, we don't know if Zen 4 is going to be better. I kind of hope that Intel can really compete at the moment. But, you know, I really think you'll be shooting yourselves in the foot here, Intel, because people might, your fans might be moving over to the AMD products. So I really think this is worth thinking about, and I really hope it's something that's worth following over the next couple of months, up until the 10th generation of Intel CPUs come out. But anyway, guys, I know this was a more short one. Thanks for listening to me ramble once again, and I will see you guys very soon. Peace out.